We're live. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope that everybody had a wonderful day today. I had a wonderful day today. And I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for everybody to get on and make sure that my volume is good and everything is right before we get started. And we're going to be talking about some different things tonight. Oh, Carlos. Hey, buddy. Are you getting snow up there, Carlos? Do you have snow yet? It's a crazy situation down here. We're going to get 1.5 inches, supposedly, of snow. You're watching the Fearless podcast. Wow, you're trying to do two things at once. We're supposed to get 1.5 inches of snow in 2 days, and everybody's freaking out, Carlos. They're freaking out. Hardware stores crazy. Grocery stores are crazy. Walmart is crazy. Crazy as in it would pretty much be a normal experience for most places in the country to go into a grocery store, hardware store, or Walmart with that amount of people. Still no lines, okay? Not that kind of crazy. But it's just more hectic, and people are just trying to get everything that they need because they might be stuck home for all of maybe 2 days. So can't knock them too much because we were kind of out doing the same thing. But just making sure that we have everything that we need, and for the next couple days, if we lose power, just want to be comfortable. And I bought a big brisket tonight. I got it at Walmart. It was less than $4.50 a pound. It was like $4.45, something like that a pound. You can get them way cheaper. Got maybe 1/2 inch, and school got canceled. Was forecasted to get worse, but ended up being rain. It's funny. Yeah, it is funny. That's really funny. And so anyway, got a big brisket. So I can get those briskets for like half that price, literally like $2 something a pound, when they're on sale and at certain stores. So anyway, that wasn't the best price to pay per pound, but for under $4.50 a pound for any type of meat, under $5 a pound is still a great deal for beef. And so, it was Texas certified Angus, supposedly. Who knows? But anyway, it was beef. That's all we care about. And I just chunked it up and into like 4 or 5 big hunks. I cut some, like there's like the end cap and stuff that's just like really, really thick fat. There wasn't that much waste, I'll tell you what. And so I just chunked it up and threw it in my big Instapot. And can everybody hear me good? Tell me if you can hear me good. Prep for eternity. Welcome, welcome. I figured it was you, Jennifer. I figured it wasn't your husband hanging out here. Good evening, Amy Anderson. So I was just telling Carlos that we're supposed to be getting 1.5 inches of snow, and it's like bedlam because of that. So, which, in all honesty, I mean, we're supposed to get single digits too. And so everybody's just kind of freaking out. And I don't think it's just Texas. I think our friends in Georgia are also kind of freaking out because they're in the same zone. And just, it felt like 70 degrees today. Yesterday was definitely in the 70s. Today, it said it was 61 degrees in my car this evening when I went out, but it felt way warmer than that. That Texas sun, I'll tell you what, even in the wintertime, it's just warm. It makes it warmer than the temperature. It's kind of weird thing to get used to. But anyway, so we're just getting everything in place. I got more bedding in place for Miss Beans, our mama pig, because I know she's going to have those babies. I had her down to have those babies Christmas Eve, and here we are. Poor thing. She has babies like me, like a month overdue. So I know she's waiting to have those babies when we get like the single digits. So anyway, it's just been a lot of that going on. The boys went deer hunting the last two. They went deer hunting the last 2 days, and early this morning they went out deer hunting, and then this evening they went out deer hunting. Haven't gotten anything yet. So I got a few things that we're going over tonight. One is talking about, I got a brisket from Walmart tonight. Have not had roast in a long, I call it roast, right? In a long time. It's been a long time. And I definitely want to get back to doing that. My husband was like, why don't we do this a few times a week? And I'm like, I don't know. We used to do that. So I paid a little less than $4.50 a pound for this big, gigantic brisket. Nothing was wasted. I cut a little tiny bit. I bet it wasn't even, I don't know. I bet it wasn't even 16 ounces of fat off of the end cap. That was just like really thick, which you can, if you're making your own tallow, you could use that and use it also to make tallow, but I haven't gotten into all that yet. Not much went to waste. And we took that fat that I cut off, that was just like a small little bowl full. We took that out to the chickens and they love the fat. So it's really good for them. So anyway, less than $4.50 a pound for a gigantic brisket. And if you don't have a smoker, we do have a smoker and the boys do smoke it, but I'm very strange. I'm the only one in the family that steak is not always my favorite, and smoked brisket, I'm sorry y'all Texans and Southern people, but brisket's not totally my favorite either. So I usually just like it as a roast. So I just hunk it up into sections. So I cut it up into like 4 or 5 big sections so it would fit in my big Instapot, put some water in it and like generously salted it with Redmond's real salt and cooked it for 3 hours on high pressure. And the awesome thing about it was that it wasn't frozen. So usually they're frozen in my freezer and I have to get them out and let them defrost for like a full day because they're so big. But this one was nice because I just picked it up at the grocery store. I looked like the crazy lady at Walmart. I was like just carrying my brisket. I didn't even have a buggy, a cart, whatever. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have a little basket. I didn't see the baskets when I walked in. It was a little hectic in there. And so I just walked straight to the beef section, grabbed my big old brisket and walked out. And well, I paid. I scanned it and I paid. Anyway, but normally if you're looking around, you can find those big giant briskets for like half that price. Like usually under $3 a pound, $2 something a pound is what you can get them for. So if roasts are pricing you out, if roasts are like between $10 and $20 a pound where you're at, look for brisket or just start shopping around for briskets because it's just a huge chunk of meat for a great price. And I noticed tonight too, when I was at Walmart, that the big giant rolls of ground beef, like the huge rolls, I don't know what they are, 10 pounds. They're huge. Less than $4 a pound for that. I think it was like $3.50 a pound. Now I know Aldi's has ground beef in just the little 1 pound packages, the grass fed ground beef, and they're usually around $5 a pound. But if you're on a super budget and you got a lot of people to feed, those big 10 pound rolls for $3.50 a pound, that's a pretty good price too for ground beef. So tonight was the first night that we had, I'll just call it roast. It was actually brisket, but it was really good. So after I cooked it on high pressure for 3 hours, I just took it out, and me and the little kids, we all ended up putting ours in the air fryer, like in the bowls. I already had my piece out, put some hunks of butter on it and resalted it a little bit on top, and then put it in the air fryer for a few minutes and let it get all crispy and good. And y'all, I ate until I was just like, I can't eat anymore. I just can't eat this brisket anymore. This is like, it was so good. So, so good. So we'll have some left over for tomorrow for lunch. So it'll serve us about 2 days worth. But everybody enjoyed it. And when we ran into the grocery store this afternoon, our local grocery store, my son got a really great deal on a pork. I think it's a pork shoulder or a pork butt, but it was $1 a pound. So they are going to smoke that tomorrow. And so I got a couple things to talk to you about tonight. And then I got something to share with you. So I'm excited to get on here. My husband's like, there's not a whole lot of people on your live stream. I'm like, I don't care. We're having a good time. I don't care if it's just the same 3 people every night. It's just fun to hang out. So we all need the encouragement. All right, Amy Anderson, you're at 20 minus. Sorry. Minus 25 tonight. And you got 11 inches of snow yesterday. Oh, you're in Nebraska. Wow. Wowzers. Minus 25. I don't ever know that I've experienced minus 25. Where we lived up north, it would get in the negatives, but more in the single digits. Very rarely would it dip down to like double digit negatives. And it would be like minus 10 or something like that. I don't know that I've ever experienced below minus 15. I don't think I've ever experienced that in my life. So, wow. But, after 0 degrees, who's counting? Like, you're not going outside. It's just awful, awful cold. So it just makes taking care of animals really difficult. That's my past experience. I grew up on a farm. I grew up with horses. Predominantly, we had some dogs too, but mainly the only outside animals were horses. And taking care of animals in the cold is just 10 times more work and just not fun. It's just not fun. Lugging hot water and doing all that and frozen hoses. And I don't know. When we decided to move, we wanted to move somewhere. We were very tempted to move to Montana, or Wyoming, or one of those awesome cowboy states out there. But what was one of the deciding factors for us was that we were like, we're only doing this once. And if we move, we're going warm, because it's harder for my husband to work. He works outside. And so he wanted some working man weather where he could like just go and work all year round outside. And it just helps him to be more productive. And you're not spending your mornings shoveling snow off the sidewalk and defrosting your key hole to your vehicle so you can, get into your vehicle. You have to use de-icer. People don't even know what a snow scraper is down here. It's pretty hysterical. Or a snow shovel. There is not a one to be found. So it is pretty funny. So everything seizes up when we get a heavy frost. A heavy frost counts as a snow. But usually about every 5 years, we get a good snow. Good snow meaning a few inches, and it's beautiful and we can enjoy it and have fun with it. And then by the afternoon, definitely by that evening, next morning, there's no evidence that there was snow. But anyway, I watched 2 really awesome videos today, and both were Dr. Barry videos. I want to plug them because they're really good. I thought that they were worthwhile. They were 2 interviews that he did. The one is, I think, his most recent video. It's an interview with a lady. She's a doctor. Her name is Mary Rudick, and she is really, really into studying all the people in the blue zones. So the whole interview was fascinating. It was really, really good. Very well done. I learned a few things, and then I was sharing them probably obnoxiously with my husband. But I was just so excited. I'm like, that's what I learned today. I was really excited. I love learning new things, and it's fun on this different like drastically different way of eating. Like I just keep learning new things every day. So that's really fun. So anyway, highly recommend that you go and watch that video. She's just a really, really pleasant, nice person to listen to on an interview, very upbeat and energetic. And she really just knows so much. She's lived all over the world, from Greece to Europe to Greenland and beyond, just everywhere. So she knows a lot about all these different people that live, people groups. She lived in Africa. Anyway, you got to watch the video. The next one that I watched was kind of a throwback video. It just popped up in my feed and it was really, really good. It's the second interview that I've watched with Dr. Jamie Seaman, who is an obstetrician. I think I'm saying that right. She's an OBGYN, but she also specializes in fertility and helping women to conceive. And so her and Dr. Barry, Dr. Jamie Seaman and Dr. Barry did an interview, sit-down interview on his channel a year ago. And it is on PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it was excellent. It was really good. Definitely, if you have anybody in your life that you think has that and is looking for some out of the norm type answers, she's really, really good. And she also doesn't poo-poo traditional medicine. She's just a regular doctor, so she sees a time and place for that as well. But she's just really, really good. So look up that Dr. Barry and PCOS, and that's what will come up. Really great interviews. I loved both of them. They were just really neat. Learned a lot. I can't retain all of the information. Like I'd have to sit and take notes and study to actually be able to like retain it and then be able to like spit it all back out to you. But you can just go watch the videos. So anyway, my next exciting, fun thing to share with y'all tonight, because I just figured we would be hanging out. Tony, tonight is -6, wind chill -29. Oh my. Oh boy. Carlos, you don't have an ice scraper. Tell me what state you're in again. I'm so sorry. I always think that you're in Virginia. And if you were in Virginia, you'd probably own an ice scraper, right? I don't know. We had ice scrapers in our car, every vehicle, always. And I had a Ford Explorer when we moved down here, and I had the ice scraper in the little side door pocket forever. And then one day somebody was like, "What is this?" It's an ice scraper. Like, what? What are you talking about? It was funny. And the first time we got snow here, I was like, oh, we can just, because we didn't pack our snow shovel when we moved. So I was like, oh, we can just go to Tractor Supply or whatever and get a snow shovel. And then I went and I'm like, there are no snow shovels. Oh, welcome, Dorothy. You are no longer in Kansas. Like I had no idea. No idea. There's been lots of things like that. Total culture shock. All right, Carlos. Oh, sounds good indeed. I'll put this up here, Carlos. Do you ever get Costco brisket? No, Carlos, we don't have a Costco. Costco is like 3-hour trip. So yeah, that's it. I wish that they would open a Costco. That would be great. I hear all these people that do all of their shopping hauls at Costco, but yes, we don't have one. We have a Sam's Club, and we haven't been there since we've gone carnivore, but we need to do that. We need to go and check it out. But we've found that our best deals are at our local grocery stores. And there is a new little local butcher shop in town, and I do want to check him out too to see what he offers. And like Divina was saying last night or the night before, she was able to stop at her butcher shop and ask just for all the scraps for her dogs. And how cool is that? She got like a barrel or something of scraps for the dogs. And then she's going to be able to go back at the end of the week and get more. So that's pretty epic. Okay. So let's see. Tony, where are you at? -6. Prep for eternity. Are y'all getting any cold weather? Is any cold weather coming? Let me know. And then I'm going to talk to y'all about, this is my everyday. I brought it with me just for something to chit chat about tonight. I brought with me my everyday go-to skincare / makeup routine. And going back, I don't know what it's been now. It might be 2 years. I can't remember. Year and a half. I decided that I was getting a little older and it was time to just stop buying like the cheapest of the cheap junk, propylene glycol or whatever it was that I was putting on my skin, like CoverGirl, whatever, like $6 foundation. I'm like, okay, let me try to take care of my skin and, just be a little healthier. So I kind of like deep dived into some different ladies channels that I appreciated. And this is what I came up with. It's literally 3 products for my skincare and 3 products for my makeup, but my makeup is also skincare. So hold on, Carlos, let me take your comment off of here. Where can I find you up here? Sorry, I didn't mean to make you blast us the whole time. So anyway, so when I was watching one lady's channel, she said there's 3 things that every woman with aging skin needs. And that is a hyaluronic acid serum. This set is from Tree of Life. And I got it because it looked good and natural and didn't look like it had a bunch of junk in it. And it was budget friendly because I didn't want to pay like some expensive Macy's prices on this stuff either. Because before that, I've used soap and water and like a $6 CoverGirl makeup foundation. So, so anyway, I didn't want to go off the deep end. So this hyaluronic acid, she said every woman needs a retinol serum. This is a set. It comes in a 3 set. And she said every woman needs vitamin C serum. So that's my 3 serums that I have. I do not use them every single day. It comes in a set. It's on Amazon. It's Tree of Life. And it lasts me forever. Forever meaning, I don't know, 6 months to 9 months. I haven't timed it exactly. Not more than once a year do I buy these. It's just, they last a long time. So I just take a little dropper full. I just rotate it. I don't put all 3 of these on my face at the same time because I want to stretch this out. And I want to do what's required, but I embrace the wrinkles and the aging anyway. So I'm not trying to stop anything from happening that's going to happen either. So I just like grab one randomly in the morning or at night after I get a shower, in the morning after I get a shower or bath when my face is nice and clean. I'll just grab one of these, put it on my hands, and then I already put it on tonight, and just put it on my face, and it makes your skin feel really good and moisturized, and yeah, it just feels really good. So anyway, so that's that. That's my skincare routine. And then I don't have any special cleansers or moisturizers or anything like that. I just wash my face with soap. And I have a lady that I buy soap from. And so it's good, healthy soap. I use it on my whole body. And my kids use it for their shampoo and for everything. So it just is an all-in-one kind of deal. So I have 3 products for my makeup, and this one is a little pricier. This one's called Blue Mission. So my standard for my makeup was this. It had to double as skincare, and it had to be so healthy that you could actually eat it. Like I wanted the ingredients to be like whole food type ingredients. I didn't want to be putting any chemicals on my face anymore. So I wanted my makeup to double as skincare, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So this one is and a healthy skincare. So this one's called Blue Mission. It's organic, and it is SPF of 15, which is very nice. And it's a moisturizer serum, and it's a tinted moisturizer is actually what it's called. It comes in 2 different shades. It comes in this medium shade that is my color, which I guess would cover like all medium shades of skin because it's just a tinted moisturizer, so it blends. And then the other shade is light. So I really like it. It's a glass jar. It is a little pricey. I can't remember the exact price of it. It might vary a little bit, but I love that it's a glass jar because you don't waste any. You can literally use up every little last bit of it, and you're not paying for expensive product that you can't get out of a tube. So that really was great, I thought, about it. And of course, the ingredients were fantastic. So I've been using this every day. Every day that I wear makeup, I use this, and it's just really nice. So I'll just go ahead and put it on real quick. Show you. I do this is like 5-minute makeup. Okay. So I just put it on a little bit heavier on my chin and my nose. It's kind of weird doing it on the computer because everything is backwards. And my brain's already backwards, so. And I just put it a little bit under my eyes. And a little bit on top of my eyes. This is how I get ready for the live streams, y'all. And church, and just every day, pretty much. I mean, unless I'm just going to be home all day. But still, I had to do it because this is a good moisturizer, and it's got a lot of really good ingredients in it for your skin. And it really just helps cover up, like, it gives you some good coverage for like your little age spots and things like that, little sunspots that have happened over the years. So, and if you want more coverage with it, it's a little shiny at first because it's a moisturizer, but then it absorbs during the day, so it doesn't stay that shiny. And you can always take a tissue and blot it if you wanted to, but I don't. I just let it absorb and do its thing. And you can always go back to like certain areas, and if you want to like layer up and just add a little bit more coverage, you can do that and just kind of lighten up certain areas a little bit better. You can do that too. But it really works well. And because it's just a tinted moisturizer, it's worked in the summer and in the winter for me, for my skin tone, like all year round. Because in the summer, I get pretty dark. And then in the winter, my skin is just more like you're seeing it now. So it's just really nice. The next thing that I have is by this company, Han, and it's a bronzer. I've always used a bronzer, like forever. Since I've started wearing makeup, I've always used a bronzer. And this company has it. Oh, sorry, guys. This company has it in this little, the packaging is kind of funny, but the price is awesome. And the ingredients are awesome. The ingredients are just totally like I said, like edible. Like just great ingredients. So that's why I picked this. But it's just like a little cardboard. It's kind of funny, the packaging on this. It's like got this little hairband thing, but it works. It works totally fine. But they did start making the bronzer in this stick. This is my little, it's a blush, lipstick, eyeshadow, however you want to use it. It's just a little multi-purpose stick. Same company. Oh, sorry. Same company, but they actually have now the bronzer in this stick. And I want to try that because this isn't my all-time favorite packaging. So anyway, I just take my big brush, and this is not an expensive brush either. I just got it on Amazon, and I just do my nose and my cheeks and a little bit on my forehead and my chin. Sorry. And that is, it's hard to do makeup and do a live stream. There you go. And that is it. If you wanted to do more, you could do more. And then this is the little stick of, it's like a multi-purpose stick, same company, Han, and I love it. Like I just loved all of the ingredients in it. And you can read through the ingredient list on each of these things. They have other products too, but I just chose the bronzer and the blush stick from them. But they have several different shades to choose from. And I think this one is called Rose something. It's just kind of a mauve kind of color. So what I do with it is I just kind of take it and make a little like circle area. I'll try not to do this too heavy. And then I just kind of tap it in. And then I just go over my nose. Hopefully I do a pretty good job on here, but you get the point. That's it. That's what I do. And I was using it as a lipstick, but it seems to always get on my teeth. And then it's really annoying because my husband's like, you got lipstick on your teeth. And then I just get annoyed with that because I'm like, oh, or I'll be like, how long did I have lipstick on my teeth? So I don't generally wear lipstick. Maybe that's why I'm just not good at it. So I just wear regular chapstick on my lips, but this can definitely be used as a lipstick too. And they have lots of really pretty colors. And it's just really, really good skincare. So that's it. That's like my everyday. It just helps me to feel moisturized and look a little bit more alive. And it doesn't look like I have tons of makeup on, but just look ready to go. And if I have like, 2 to 5 extra minutes, I can put a little bit of like eyebrow pencil on my eyebrows and some mascara. I just do mascara on the top of my eyes. But I don't always like having mascara on either. Sometimes I just try to do it like if I'm doing a video, so my eyes don't, it feels like sometimes they like disappear into the background. So I'll just put some mascara on. But generally, I don't wear mascara every day. And yeah, I don't always like the feeling of it. But I just put it on the top anyway. So just simple. Doesn't look like I have a bunch of eye makeup on or anything like that. So that's it. That's fine. Not that you asked for it, but I just thought it was a fun conversation. And I've been using these products now for a couple years and I love them. I bought them for my mom and she's been using them. And well, she came down, I guess maybe not long after I started using them to visit. And she was like, oh, your skin looks so nice. Well, do my makeup for me. So it's just 3 products. And so she ended up switching over and using the same ones. So it is, it's just really nice and easy. That's all. Yeah. So yeah, they're just a couple things to look into. And yeah, just trying to be more healthy. That's all. I'm trying to take care of my skin. So anyway, did anybody get any good deals on meats this week? Any awesome grocery shopping savings that you want to share with us, or anything else that you got a good deal on that was like Carnivore or whatever, and that you want to share? That would be super cool. Also, what did you do today? Did you get in some movement? I walked for 5 minutes very quickly on my treadmill. My walking pace is now what my running pace was. So sometimes that last minute I run, but I'm trying to just keep it to 5 minutes so that way I can stay motivated to do it. And I'm trying not to do my 5 minutes at night, because I know Elizabeth Bright was saying that really, because of cortisol, we really want to, if we're doing any type of cardio activity at all, like walking, running, anything like that, repetitive stuff, we want to keep it limited. I think she says like under 10 or 15 minutes. And more, you want to do like intensive little short bursts. That's better for your overall cortisol level. You don't want to like run for a half an hour, or like me, a year ago, do like 45 minutes of treadmill. And you're like dripping crazy sweaty. That's not necessary for cardio anyway. I do want to integrate lifting weights, and I've done it once with my son. He trained with me, but we just have to set up a time, and I have to get more organized about when we're going to do it and what I'm going to do. But he found an app on the phone today that was like, I forget what it's called. It's like a strength training app. And he said it was really awesome, because I said, if you find a good one, let me know, because, if it could just tell me different things to do with the weights, and then if I did a couple of those, that would be great. So anyway, I just got to get more organized with the timing of that, when I want to add that in, just not be so haphazard, because I keep being like, yeah, I want to lift weights, but I don't ever do it because it's not in my routine. It's not something that I have no prompt for that. Okay. I have no prompt for that. So, as it would say in the Tiny Habits book, I have to have a prompt. And I think my prompt would have to be like a designated time to do it, and a plan of what I'm going to do when I do it. And it's going to have to be quick. It can't be like a half an hour workout. I don't think right now. It just can't be. It's going to have to be like, I make out real good of like, okay, let me just do 20 push-ups. Okay, let me just get down and do, like I used to try to do 100 sit-ups, but that's really hard. And then it requires a lot of effort. And then when you're done, you're just like, okay, you're excited that you did it, but trying to get yourself to do those 100 sit-ups again is like, nah. So rather than do 100, just do 20 or 10 or 2 would be better, more routinely than doing none. So I know in the book, I think it said like the guy, he challenged himself to just do 2 push-ups before he went pee or after he went pee every time during the day. And it really worked. So I would do some, the prompt was when I go pee, then I'm going to do 2 push-ups. So I would have to like incorporate something like that. So, but I did walk for 5 minutes today, and I did a minute jog at the end. So that was really good. I hit my goal. Yay for that. And got laundry done, got food on the table. It was a good day. It was a good day. Oh, Prep for Eternity says, does a tinted moisturizer come in different shades? Yeah, 2 shades. Medium, which is the one that I have on, and light. And it's so sheer that I don't want to say that's totally sheer. It gives you a little bit of coverage. And like I said, you can layer up if you need a little more coverage in areas. Like if you have like sunspots or like different things going on, you know, dark spots like I do in some areas, like you can just go back and add another little layer to it. For more coverage in those areas, or like under my eyes, you know, I usually add just like a little second little layer under there just to brighten it up. But it just comes in medium and light, as far as I know, unless if they've added, maybe they've added to the line by now. I'm not sure. It's called Blue Mission. It is a little bit, that's a more pricier of a product. I think it's like between $30 and $40, but it lasts a long time. It really does. And it's a moisturizer and it's good for you. So, oh, I wish we found some sales on meat, but we have to shop at Walmart because it's the only grocery store in town. They rarely have sales on meat. Oh, okay. All right. Do they have brisket? You're in the South. They have to have brisket. Because I think under $4.50 a pound is still a really good price for meat. Oh, and here's a thing that I did today. First time ever on Carnivore for me. I went into my pantry. I'm trying to play around with increasing my fat because it seems like since I went to decaf coffee, I'm not using the bathroom as regularly, and it feels like I have like some constipation going on. So that's way TMI, but it's been like that since we got back from the cruise boat. And on the cruise boat, I had a regular coffee in the morning, and then I'd have decaf through like later in the day. If I had a cup, I would have decaf. But since I've been home, I've been cold turkey decaf, and it's been great. I love how I feel drinking decaf coffee. I love being more chill and not like revved, you know, in my brain. But I'm thinking that that's the only difference of thing that I changed. So I'm thinking that not having that caffeine in my coffee is because I had no problems on the boat. So, and no problems before that. So that's the only thing I could think. But I know that Dr. Chafee says if you're having problems with constipation or dry bowel movements or whatever, increase the fat and increase it until the point that, you know, it's like, okay, that's not a problem anymore. Let me back off the fat, you know, when you tip the scale there. So I'm trying to play around with increasing my fat. So I tried adding in butter. I was eating like a big chunk of butter, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, just adding extra butter to my ground beef. And my ground beef is already fat because we have all the fat added back into the ground beef. So it's already fatty ground beef, and I'm adding a big handful of tallow to it. So I feel like I can't have any more fat with the ground beef. I've made it like soup, basically. I mean, it's so good, but I've been doing just a lot of just beef. So you guys know that, like beef, butter, salt kind of deal, tallow. So I'm kind of like, what do I do next? I don't know. So today I got the idea of, let me go in my pantry, and you know, I have all those jars of beef broth and bone broth that I've canned over the years. So I just took out 2 big quart jars of beef. I don't know if it's a bone broth or just a beef broth, either one, whatever it was. Anyway, regardless, I put it in a pot. I heated it up. Y'all know the trick that if you have canned anything, if you're questionable about it, which I wasn't, they were both sealed, the jars were sealed, but I still always just do it for good measure. If you just heat it up to boil or very hot point, I think it's a boil. That's what I do. But for 10 minutes, it will kill any like botulism or anything like that. Just better safe than sorry. I always do that just for good measure. Just really, really heat stuff up and keep it hot for 10 minutes before we eat any of it. But anyway, my point is that I had bone broth, and it was really good. And prior to carnivore, being the not meat and egg girl that I was, I would never have had bone broth. Like, I was canning all of that bone for my family or to make soups out of, or like bases. Like, I would put it in a chili or something like that. But just to sit and drink a cup of bone broth or beef broth, like, no, thank you. So today I was just like, okay, I know they're really fatty and they're really good because I can see the fat on the top of the can. And so I added some more tallow to it even. And then I salted it with my Redmond salt, and I just made myself a nice coffee mug of it. And it was delicious. It was so good. And then later in the day, well, I still had, because I opened up 2 quarts. So I had extra. I always make extra for everybody. But whoever stumbles into the house, and there's always food. So it's the Italian in me. I have a Greek friend, and she does the same thing. She's like, my mom cooks perpetually. Like, there was just always food in the kitchen. I think Spanish women, Mexican women are the same way. Just there's just always something to eat all the time. So anyway, my son, who is 8, came in, big Tex, and he was one of my vegetarian boys. He was all fruits and veg. Never did he want meat, ever, never. And so, but now he's a steak eater. He loves his meat. He's just doing great with his meat. But I was like, look, I heated up this bone broth, and I was like, it's so good. Do you want to try some? And he was like, nah. And I was like, well, why don't you try it? It's so good. I know, mommy didn't want it either, but I'm telling you now, it tastes really good. And so he's like, maybe just a spoonful. So I was like, oh no, let me just pour some in this cup for you and taste it. Like, it's so good. So I was really selling it, and it was really good. So I put some in a little coffee mug for him, and he tasted it, and his eyes just like lit up. He was just like, wow, this is so good. He was like, you're not joking. This is good, Mom. I'm like, yeah, it's good, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, go snuggle up, go watch a show, go put on a show or something, and just go drink your bone broth. But I was so excited that that's a viable option for me. Number one, that's awesome. Like, in between meals or whatever, like, just to have tons of it in my pantry. And for my kids, like, that's really cool. That is just like a really cool in between kind of thing. Because, kids, they're like, they eat and then they're, not long later. Now, it's been a lot better with the high protein and high fat. They do go for way longer periods of not being hungry, especially the 2 older of the last 3. But my little guy, who's 5, he can still be like, I think because his portions are still not huge. So he'll eat, and then, like, I don't know, it's not like before, but like maybe a couple hours later, an hour later, he'll be like, I'm hungry, So, so that's a really cool option for everybody. And it inspires me to can more bone broth. So this is going to come full circle. So then tonight, when I don't think I told you this before, but when I'm using my Instapot, like in the beginning, when I was using my Instapot to cook a lot of meat, right? To cook briskets cooked into roast, or if we had roast or whatever we had, like just really not great steaks. Like, they're just like poor quality steaks, and they're just going to taste like hockey pucks. If they're on sale, or if you can get them cheap enough, just buy them anyway. It's still beef, and you can throw it in the Instapot with some water and some salt and just let it cook down. It all tastes the same anyway when it's like shredded up. It's just shredded meat, stringy meat is what we call it. But anyway, so then when you cook it in your Instapot with your water, keep the broth. So strain that out, use a big strainer, strain that meat out, store your meat separately, put that broth in jars, in canning jars, put the lids on them and put it in your fridge. And then later in the week, when you have a minute, you can can that up and process it. And then you can put it in your pantry and you will have either beef broth or bone broth, depending on what you cooked. If your meat had bones in it, if your meat had bones in it, you could take the bones out, put them back in the Instapot, cover that thing up with water. If you want to put seasonings in it, or if you just want to do it with salt, however you want to do it, cook it for 3 more hours on high pressure. And then you do have bone broth. And again, just pour it into your quart jars and pop them in the refrigerator. If they're hot, let them sit. Just let them sit for the night. Put it in the refrigerator in the morning. And then just get to it when you get to it. When you have time to do a little bit of canning, then you can can them up. And I think it's 30 minutes, if I remember right. Maybe it's 25 minutes, high pressure for pressure canning. Sorry. I think it's 25 minutes for pressure canning, either bone broth or beef broth. Doesn't matter, either one. Any type of meat broth if you're doing pork or chicken or whatever. But I don't even do pork and chicken stuff anymore with the broth. I just want the beef broth. So anyway, that was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool finding today, I thought. Let's see. We usually purchase half a cow, so we have plenty of meat, but didn't time so well. So we've been shopping at Walmart. Hopefully in 2 weeks, freezers will be full again. Oh, okay. Yeah, it happens. That's the same reason that we're at Walmart right now too. We have cows, and I have a cow that actually is done now at the processor. And we had him all done ground beef, except for the roast, because he was a little bit on the smaller side. And in our past experience, if they're smaller, like this one wasn't a cow that we would ever sell to anybody. He was just ours, and he was younger. So, so because of that, the steaks wouldn't have been great. And it was just not a whole lot of cuts that would have been great from him. So we just did ground the whole thing. Plus he was smaller. So the whole thing ground, and the boys did tell him to do the roast from him, because roaster, you throw them in the Instapot and everything tastes good when it's stringy meat. So yes, so he is ready for pickup. I paid for him. And I don't know, depending on what this weather is going to do, you know, 1.5 inches of snow, it's going to shut things down for a little while here. So it might be on Tuesday I go to pick him up. So that would be great, because I do have some empty freezers right now. I have some full freezers too, but it's mostly all ground beef and sausage is what I have right now. Okay, Tony's saying something. Every time I go to the bathroom, I do 10 squats. Wow. Okay, you just gave me a new goal. You just gave me a new goal. Yes, I need to do that. It's the same thing, because it's like I have to have a prompt, and then I'm going to have to, because I do squats, I do push-ups, I do sit-ups. I know I need to add more to that regimen, but squats, push-ups, sit-ups, I think that's what Dr. Kilt says. Do those 3, like those 3 exercises, and sprints are really, really good, which I consider my 5 minutes of walking. I'm walking at the speed of a jog. And because I'm walking, I can just jump on the treadmill barefoot, and that saves me a step. I don't have to go get my shoes on, and then it just saves me. It just makes it easier. It's one less hurdle. So if I was jogging the whole time, I would definitely want to put my shoes on. But because I'm just walking really quickly, and I do usually jog, like my last minute is when I push myself to jog, because I think it works different muscles. I don't know. I'm not a professional exercise person, obviously. Oh my. I really just want to start riding one of our horses again. And even not riding, but I just want to start grabbing them like one at a time and just bringing them up, brushing them down, lunging them just to give them some exercise, which would give me some exercise, and then just putting them back. And it would just be really good for them because the boys are so busy, they don't really get to mess with them very much at all. But there is one, she's like a large pony, and I would really like to start riding her. But again, it's just one of those things that I say, I would really like to start doing that. I really want to do that. Yep, I'm going to do that, but I don't do it. So this book's going to be good for me. This Tiny Habits book's going to be good for me because I need to, I guess, because in my mind, I think, okay, well, when am I going to do that? Or I'd want to go do that every day. Well, I'm not going to do it every day. So like, I think that's the first thing is like, when am I going to do it? Okay. So if Sunday evenings are going to be our riding days, then that's the designated time. And then, have a plan to do it. So that way I don't just get lazy and just snuggle up on the couch with my husband and watch Alaska shows because that's what lazy me wants to do. Okay, let's see. Hey, Caitlin. Welcome, welcome. You missed it. We had a makeup party and skincare party and it was everything but the pajamas tonight. So you missed it. You're going to have to go back and rewatch the replay. But I did my makeup on here for everybody. And we're talking about my big brisket that I got at Walmart tonight. And I chunked it up and made it as a roast for dinner. What did y'all have for dinner, Caitlin? Yeah, you have to go back and rewatch it. It was fun. I thought it was fun. Got to keep it interesting. What did you have for dinner? Tell me what you all had for dinner or lunch. Tell me something. Tell me what you had. Tell me what you ate today. My other goal. Okay, here's my other goal. I'll just share a couple more goals with you that I'm working on for this new year is that I'm working towards very hard, working towards just doing a once a week grocery order. I don't know if I shared this with you yet or not. So in the past, I've done that and it's worked out really, really well. I've done that over the years for a long, long time. Way back when I had just the first 3 little ones, I would do a once a month grocery order. And I would drive like 40 minutes at that time because there was only one grocery store that did pick up and you had to pay for it back then. I think it was like $5, but I way saved more than the $5, just shopping everything out by price, even back then. And I would put all 3 little babies in the car. And I think what it started was I had my 3rd one in December and it was very cold up north. And I was like, I am not taking 3 babies out in the cold and trying to grocery shop with 3 babies. I mean, they filled up my grocery cart anyway. Like my one could walk because he was 3. But my other second little guy, I would put him in the buggy. And then the baby, I had him in the little car seat. So he would clip onto the front. So I tried it a couple times. I'm like, there's nowhere to put groceries. Like, it's me behind this big car seat with a little infant and a toddler in the buggy. And I'm like throwing all these groceries in on top of him. You can't fit very much. And then I'm trying to hold a 3-year-old's hand and so I did that a couple times and I'm like, okay, online groceries, let's figure that out. So there was one store I had to drive 40 minutes to go, but I enjoyed it anyway. I always enjoyed moms with little ones always enjoy getting in the car and going somewhere. Even if it's with your little ones, it's still a break. It's still awesome. So I would probably get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee because it was back then and that's what I did. And I would drive 40 minutes and I would pull up and pay for my groceries. And because that part wasn't online then, I had to physically give them the card and she would run it for me. And then she would put all the groceries in the car and I would drive back home, and it was just so awesome. But once a month, that was my once a month, but that was way less kids. They were little. So over the years, I've gone to like once a week, and I think it's easier to budget the once a week grocery shopping than once a month. And you could always work your way up. But the once a week has been easier for me. And for me, I have found over the years that Wednesday, that midweek day, is a great day to do groceries, because if I tried it out doing it on Fridays, which is really nice because then you feel like there's all this food in the house for the weekend, which is really awesome feeling. But if I do it on Wednesday, it's just that midweek thing, and we have enough groceries to get through the weekend and stretch it into that next week. I don't know. The middle of the week, it really just seemed to work. So I'm getting back to my once a week Wednesday grocery order. And this is a challenge because being carnivore, I still have not got my hands wrapped around like how much of stuff we go through as far as like half and half creamer. And like the boys pick it up, and a lot of times they pay for their half and half creamer. But it would be so nice to be organized enough to be like, okay, we go through this many in a week. So that's just kind of what I'm still working on. So, I mean, the grocery list is simple. I shared it with y'all. I mean, it's like butter, frozen berries, half and half. I do buy that Silk unsweetened coconut milk now. And it's very, very simple list, and some meats, when we need meats. And so, we're going to have a lot of ground beef, but we'll still be buying some different meats just to mix it up a little bit, during the week. So it would be nice to do that. That's my one goal. My other shopping goal is to go back to a once a month, and it works out best for me at the end of the month. So like the last day of the month would be ideal for me, is to do any extracurricular spending as far as like household spending that's like wants more than needs, like just things that are just like it doesn't, like, it's not essential to have it, but it's just like, just household stuff. Or I'm not talking like decorations and stuff, which it could be. It could be anything, like miscellaneous. It's the miscellaneous section. So it could be like, I don't know, household or kids or me. That category, I just want to designate to the last day of the month. And that way I can kind of keep a handle on it better. So I'm not just, I think the groove that I got into in the past few months, because we were prepping to go away on vacation. And so as I thought of things that the kids or me would need for going away on vacation, I would think of them and I'm like, oh, let me buy that right now because I'm going to forget. And we're going to need that for when we go away. So I just started doing that. And that is like a really dangerous habit to get into. So I need to backpedal my way back out of that habit. And in the past, I've used my Amazon cart or my Walmart online cart to just put things in as I think of them. So rather than actually buy the things, just go online, find it, put it in the cart, whether it's Amazon or Walmart, because that's my two horrible go-tos, and then just let it be. Let it sit there till the end of the month. And then that last day of the month, when it's my extra spending time, then I can go on there and buy those things. But in the past, couple months, it's just been like, oh, my little guy needs some more jeans. I'm just going to go onto eBay, and eBay's another one that I do, I use it as a thrift store. I'm just going to go onto eBay and get him a lot of used little boys jeans, or oh, this one, I just went through all their drawers and this one needs some flannel shirts. Well, we're having cold weather, so I'm just going to order him those 3 flannel shirts right now because they're on sale and I'm just going to get them. So it's just not good spending practices is what I'm confessing to y'all. It's not good and it has to get reeled in. So that is my plan for groceries and household stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. Oh, and to hold me accountable, this is very pathetic, but this is funny. But to hold me accountable to it, I asked it's probably not pathetic. It's probably a good training mechanism for my daughter, but I said, Mommy's only going to buy stuff at the end of the month. At the last day of the month is when we're going to, like if there's something special or whatever, or not special, but just like an item or two, like, a new dress for her or whatever it is, something, right? Then dinosaurs. I got them little farm animals a couple weeks ago to play with. They're really cute, the little plastic, all the little figurines, and they've been having a blast with them. And with all this cold weather, I'm so glad that they got them, but it has to end. So the party's over. And so I told her, I said, when I want to buy something, I'm going to tell you that I want to buy this, but I'm going to put it in the cart and I'm going to wait until the end of the month. And then you're going to remind me like, no, mommy, we're not shopping until the end of the month. So she's my accountability partner. Yep. My 7-year-old is my shopping accountability partner. So anyway, whatever. We're celebrating my husband's birthday. So we had green beans and cupcakes. Awesome. We figured it would be okay to celebrate and spurge a little. Oh, that's awesome. We'll tell him happy birthday. That is awesome. All right, let's see. Does your family take vitamin supplements still on carnivore or not? Well, it's very limited. I can tell you that. I don't think that it's necessary either. But because we have cabinets full of vitamins and supplements, and I prepped vitamins and supplements for a little while, we have plenty. So because of that, I do still take like a multivitamin. I give the kids a multivitamin, and I take, when there's colds going around, I take an extra zinc vitamin, and I take my vitamin D3 because a couple years ago I was extremely low in vitamin D. And my doctor told me that I needed to supplement that. That was the only thing that I was low in, but I was like scary low, even according to like the traditional standard. So I'm sure it was like way too low. So I supplement a vitamin D3 for myself and a multivitamin for me and all the kids. And that's pretty much it. We don't take anything else. When everybody was sick with colds, I broke out the vitamin C pills and zinc. And what else? I think that might have been it. Just for good measure, but I don't know that it's, and I mean, I already give them the multivitamin. I don't know that they even need it, but just what it is. Oh, okay. Caitlin said she's got sausage from her own pork. That is awesome. Super awesome. I have some of our beef sausage. I'm pretty sure it's beef sausage. I don't think it's pork sausage, but we have both in the freezer. But I think the 2 packages that I took out last night were beef sausage. And I'm going to go ahead and make them into little links. I'm going to try to just roll them into little links and cook them up for the kids. So that'll be fun. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning. So I think that is pretty much it, y'all. Happy birthday to Mr. Prepped for Eternity. And I guess I'm going to hop off here, y'all. But I'm glad that you hopped on. Go back if you were late coming. Just go back and watch it in the replay. And it was fun hanging out with y'all. I'm just so glad for our little group on here. Even if it is small, it's just so nice to hop on and just be an encouragement to each other that, like, we did it again. Yay! Got through the day. And didn't just get through the day. We were thriving. We were feeling good, and we were eating good, and we're full, and we all have full bellies, and we're ready for another good day. So that is pretty much it. And yeah. So I hope y'all have a super blessed evening. I hope you have a blessed Lord's Day tomorrow. And I will be back on here Monday night. I won't be on here tomorrow evening, but I will be back on here Monday night at 7 o'clock if you all want to join me, and we'll hang out then, talk about something good. But don't forget to go watch those 2 Dr. Barry interviews too that I mentioned. They are really, really good and worth watching. All right. Love y'all so much. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you Monday night. Bye.